Hello, 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 beloved souls. What's going on? It is Friday, the 19th of November. While I'm recording this, we're having a super full moon in Taurus right now. We had a lunar eclipse around 3:30 a.m. The energies have been intense. I've been feeling these energies for like a couple of weeks. That 11:11 portal was big, huge, massive shift for me, and it's just the waves have been coming, right? So for many people, I've been seeing a lot of like Dark Night of the Souls, a lot of triggering, a lot of healing coming up. And it's been getting real and it's been getting raw and it's been getting really, really deep, right? We've had like the blessing with all that scorpionic energy having us go really deep into our emotions, right? And like really look at the dark and the shadow aspects of our lives and like have to shine a light on it, right? And anything that is not in alignment with our truth, anything that's not in alignment with divine love or above is completely being purged out of your system. Completely, 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 completely. Like, if it's not in alignment, it's got to go, right? And that's going to mean traveling for some people, like relocating. That's going to mean ending some relationships for other people. That's going to be a shift in like people's careers or jobs or work locations. Like that's going to be different for everyone. Obviously, it's general, but the collective as a whole is really being shifted. Um, I know I was picking up anxiety. I was picking up a lot of sadness, a lot of crying, a lot of going through the layers, a lot of activations with the third eye, a lot of activations with the crown chakra, a lot of work on our sacral and root chakras as well. Ton of work, ton of work. And I mean, that's been happening a lot all of like last year and this year, but it was like intense, 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 intense. I couldn't like get outside and get barefoot and start earthing enough. Like I couldn't like it doesn't matter if it's like raining outside in the dark. Like I just like give me some grass, give me some soil, give me some Gaia, and let me get grounded because it's been so intense. It's been so intense. So Taurus also governs our like sensuality, right? And finances. So there's been a lot of energy and healing work and triggering going on within our intimate relationships as well as like our other love relationships, whether that's the love that you have for your friends or the love that you have for yourself first and foremost, right? A need to have self-care methods happening, right? And Taurus also likes luxury, right? The finer things in life. So there's this energy of like taking care of yourself, right? Like spoiling yourself at this moment. Really making you a priority, making your physical, spiritual, mental, and emotional bodies a priority, right? And falling into alignment with yourself, as well as like expressing your sensuality, expressing your sexuality, expressing like how you feel about those things. And that can be different for everyone. Like sensual touch isn't necessarily like a sexual thing all the time, right? Like some people just like to hold hands, like to caress. Like some people's love language is like little kisses, like things like that. Or like maybe you like how certain clothes feel, or you like the thread sheet count on your bed, like it's different things like that that really make you feel good, make your body feel good. And then our finances, right? And that's been a huge one. Huge, 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 huge one going on. What are we going on? Like 2 years now. And so it's not surprising to me that the root chakra is all out of whack, right? Because some people benefited financially from the lockdowns and the shutdowns and everything. People were creating their own jobs, becoming entrepreneurs, and realizing like maybe they don't have to live their life in the humdrum of the robotics of a corporate world anymore, and they can do something else, and people tapped into their creativity, and like it was a benefit for some people, and for others it hasn't been, right? It's been scary, and you don't know if you're going to have your home, and uh you don't know where the money's coming from, and you have all these bills piling up, and then there are people sick, and like it's really overwhelming, right? And so our root chakra governs stability, and it governs safety, and it keeps us grounded, right? And the root chakra and the sacral chakra are really where we create our like wealth, right, and finance. So if those are out of alignment, then we're gonna be shifting from job to job. We're gonna kind of be living with a poverty mindset, like living out poverty consciousness behaviors and activities, right? So this is the time right now to dive deep with your money and to really have a better relationship with your money and your finances. Like, have a better relationship with how you feel about money. Like, do you have some type of resentment towards money, or do you have resentment towards people that have money? Are you here thinking that, you're doing this work and you can't get paid well in that field because others before you haven't, especially when it comes to like those of us that do spiritual work, right? Like, you're kind of told like, oh, if you're doing spiritual work, like, you can't be really holy if or pure or whatever if you're making money. But it's like, well, that's not true, because the more money I have, the more I can help other people. Like, it's hard to help somebody when both of you are broke, right? Like, if both of us are hungry, is that really a benefit? Or is it okay if like maybe one person's hungry, one person has food, and the person that has food shares with the person that's hungry, and then we learn how to do this thing together, right? This dance together. It's odd to me. But that's part of like the generational and ancestral curses that we're clearing, like this clearing of, if you're an artist, you need to be broke. Like, if you have like a wealth mindset and you consciously like create good wealth and have money and are living a good life, then something must be wrong with you and you must be like demonic or something like that, right? Like, we need to like shift out of that. So a lot of that is coming up right now to be shifted out. Like, a lot of the old paradigms about money, about the whole crab in the barrel mindset, or like there's only enough for the very elite, but there's not enough for everyone else. Like, all of that shit is being shifted out of the collective in big, massive ways, and it's being shifted out on individual levels as people are going through their day-to-day tasks, and their jobs are shifting, their homes are shifting, their relationships are shifting, and it's shifting on a global level as we're seeing certain paradigms start to just break down, right? You're seeing certain structures start to break down. You're going to see rebellions. You're going to see wars. You're going to see odd weather patterns. You're going to see all types of shit going on in the world as we're shifting through all of these energies, right? And so there's like a big world purging going on. And this full moon, lunar eclipse, is really like a big activator that's gonna last. I mean, eclipse energy lasts like 6 months anyway, but this portal between the full moon, lunar eclipse today, and the solar eclipse that's gonna happen in the new moon in Sagittarius, I think that's like December 4th. It's gonna be a powerful time. Like, these next few days are gonna be a powerful, powerful, powerful time. You're gonna see a lot of shifts coming up, right? So, suggestion, really make sure that you stay grounded, right? Do focus on self-care, but not to the point of selfishness, right? Like, do do your hair, right? Maybe like go get that facial, go buy those shoes, but also use discernment, you know what I mean? Because it's all just about our finances. So it's like, yeah, do something, but don't go too crazy. You know what I mean? Like, enjoy yourself, but also use discernment and know to stay within your means. And know that money is meant to be shared and given and to be in flow, right? Money is a tool that we use, and it's not meant to be hoarded. It's not meant to, it's, you're meant to use it, right? Like, money's supposed to flow through you, to and through you, to and through you, to and through you. So if we can keep that in mind as you're going through these days and you're given these opportunities to receive and to give, to keep the flow going, right? And the more that you allow the universe to use you in that manner, the more the universe begins to use you in that manner, and you'll see your abundance and your manifestation starts to add up. All right. Sorry, I turned my body because I wanted to grab some cards so we can start pulling some cards. I want to see what the universe has for us for this Taurus full moon. I'm going to start with the Divine Feminine Oracle. Thank you, my team of light. Thank you, angels and guides, for being here with the collective. What do we have for the collective? This Taurus full moon lunar eclipse. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Nothing yet. Oh, 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 okay. Saint Brigitte, Our Lady of Exalted Light. I give endlessly because the light is without end. My soul is all I need. How beautiful, right? I was just talking about that, right? Talking about flow. Like, you just keep showing up, right? You keep showing up, you keep doing your part, you keep allowing the energies to like flow through you at this time, and watch what happens. It's a beautiful thing. And I know many people right now are going through their dark night of the soul, right? And that's frightening, right? I experienced one right after I had my children, and it was like shattering, like one of the most awful things that I'd ever felt in my life. I like felt like I wanted to die. I didn't know what was going on. I was so confused. I was fucking scared. I'm a new mom. Like I felt so disempowered. I felt so frightened, and then I had all these things coming up that were like like just had me like losing my mind. Like I'm like, why am I having all these memories of all these traumas and all this pain, all this stuff? Right? And I was just like so broken at that time. And at that time I was living in one area, and we were at the point where my fiance at the time had been the only one working because we had just had kids, and so then he lost his job, so we were about to lose the house. And like right at the end, like the nick of time, like someone like bought me plane tickets so I could go home with my kids, so I could like be home so we wouldn't be like without a home. It was like it was so scary, but I like do all of that. It was like losing the home, losing the relationship, losing all my things, feeling like I'm losing my mind, really shifting my perspective on a lot of things, and like just seeing the world in a different way. And it was fucking awful. It was awful, right? And now I'm in the dark night of the soul again, right? I'm seeing a lot of the same energies coming out, but it's a different perspective, right? It's still scary. I'm not going to act like it's not, because whenever we're walking around in this bright lit room, okay, I'll put it like this. Say you're like walking down like a street, right? And it's like midnight. Not a big deal. Street lights are on, whatever. You don't know where you're going, but you got a GPS on your phone. And then as you're crossing the bridge to the next area that you need to go to, it begins to start to rain. Again, not a big deal. Got GPS on your phone. It's midnight, it's late, but it's kind of raining, but the streetlights are on, not a big deal. And now you're walking, you don't really know where you're going, you're trying to pay attention, can't really see because it's raining, and then the power goes off on your phone. And then the power goes off around you. And you're like, what the fuck just happened? That is my dark night of the soul right now, right? Like walking, I'm going from one realm to the next, right? I'm on the bridge, I can feel myself going, and all systems were a go until they weren't, right? And then everything just stopped. And so you have an option, right? You can stay where you're at and wait for either the power to come back on or the sun to come up. Either way, you'll be able to see. You can go back to where you came from, and because you already know where you came from, and that feels a little safer, right? It's comfortable because you know it, because you just came from it. And even though it's not getting you any closer to where you want to be, it's comfortable and it's safe. Or you can keep moving forward, and knowing along the way you might get bumped and bruised because you can't really see where you're going, but you know to keep going, because at some point the light's going to come on, right? At some point the sun is either going to come out or the power is going to come back on. And so this message is super important for those of you that are experiencing the darkness right now, right? Like through all of this darkness, I've had to remember one truth: I am the light. And so maybe I was scared because I was waiting for the light from outside of me, but I found peace when I remembered the light was me, right? Like it was really scary, and it's been really frightening. It's been like a huge transition. But in all of it, the reminder is you are the light, like you are the light. And so, although we may depend upon the sun sometimes, we may depend upon, the power cords to be working, it's never truly dark because you are the light. And you can constantly give that flow out, that beautiful electrical current of love to the whole universe, and know that it'll never end because you are the light. Right? My soul is all I need. Amen. See what else we got. Ooh, ooh, powerful, powerful, powerful. All right. Akhilanda. I'd never say her name right, so don't judge me. The goddess of never not broken. Everything happens for my liberation. I choose to become only more love. Look at that. How powerful is that image? I told you the collective is going through a huge purging right now, right? And what's happening? Parts of her that are no longer serving her are being burnt and broken away, right? They're being burnt away. They're being pushed away. Like, it may not feel good in the midst of all of this because you're in the midst of all of this, but it'll serve your highest good. After that, look at all this illumination, right? So this big, big illumination, big full moon energy showing that yes, there's going to be a crippling, a breaking away, a shedding of the old layers of you, but it's to leave the part of you that needs to be there, right? So you can stand in your truth, you can stand in love, you can stand in your sovereignty, right? And if it's already broken, not really breaking it too much more, right? So from this level of vulnerability, from this level of brokenness, we find our strength. We come that much better. It's like digging away, chipping away at a rock, only to find like a beautiful golden statue inside, right? Like that is that energy. It's time to dig away at the rocks, the layers of the ego and the mind and this like material world and get down to the truth, to the golden essence of who you are, to your sovereign being, right? You're a child of the Most High God. Like that is who you are within at all divine times. So this moon is pushing you to chip away the layers of yourself that are not in alignment with that truth, that are not in alignment with your love, with your light, with your sovereignty, with your majesty. See the color red? Root chakra, right? Again, big, big, big root chakra shifting going on. Big time, big time, big time, big time, big time. Whoa, one more. So rude. Sappho, the poetess. I love every inch of my body and I love the women in my life fiercely. I love that. One, let's talk once again about the red, right? This whole root chakra energy. And one of the ways to ground your root chakra is through dancing, right? Is through singing, is through writing, like poetry, right? Because you're very present during those moments. And this is about honoring, yes, physical women in your life, but it's really about honoring the divine feminine and who you are. It's about honoring every layer of yourself and pouring love into it. And shining a light on it and maybe like singing to it or writing your poetry, like letting your body know, letting your divine feminine know that it's safe to be here. It's safe to step forward. It's safe to speak her truth. Like the divine feminine energy right now. Look at this beautiful moon behind it. Beautiful moon again, right? The divine feminine is finding her voice. And there's divine feminine energy in all of us. It doesn't matter what your gender is, right? And so it's about really embracing that part of yourself, the part of you that's creative, the part of you that's nurturing, the part of you that is loving, right? The part of you that's tapped into the darkness right before you give birth to that beautiful manifestation in the physical, right? So this divine feminine energy keeps you safe and encapsulated, kind of like in the womb. And then, right before you get pushed out, to like the active world, into this physical world, and the lights come on, and you're like, what the fuck? Welcome to Earth. So, big, big, big focus on divine feminine energy. Another big focus on really healing our root chakra with all these reds and stepping into your creativity, like letting your divine feminine essence shine through so your creativity can have a voice. Powerful. Zhao, the mystic of peace. I am peace. When my mind is clear, the way is more red energy, right? Red and orange. Those lower two chakras, the root chakra and the sacral chakra, are going to be really, really monumental at this time to keep in balance and to keep focused and to keep grounded, right? Taurus is a earth energy, which is all about grounding anyway, right? Grounding energy. So grounding foods. What is a food? Fruits, foods, vegetables, potatoes, root vegetables, lettuces, like anything that's coming from the ground. Um, Even meats that are like, like organic and like grass fed are gonna be better for you. Um, Beets, anything red, like really anything red, anything orange, because we're talking about the root chakra and orange and the sacral chakra. So you really want to keep those like energies cleared. You really want to stay grounded during this time so that you can really start to hear what the universe is telling you. You can really start to move forward and shed the things that are no longer serving you. If you're fighting against the current, it's just going to keep coming back to you, right? So it's important that you stay in flow, you stay in peace, you keep your mind at peace, and Then from there, you're going to make a stronger decision, right? When we're mind is at peace, we can get clarity. You can't get clarity from frustration and angst and anger and turmoil. You're not going to get clarity from that, but you can get clarity once you take a deep breath, maybe step back, look at things from a higher perspective, right? Like we've had eagle spirit coming out big time, big time, big time. It's about really stepping back, looking at things from a higher perspective, getting out of the midst of the storm and going into the center of the storm. And yeah, you might still be in the storm, but if you're in the eye of the storm, you're not getting caught up with the winds. And yeah, you might be shifting with the collective, and where you guys land is where, or where we land is where we land. But it's the difference between getting caught up, being thrown about, as opposed to just smoothly flowing along. So it's a big guidance. Stay in flow. To really stay in flow at this time. To stay grounded. So it's going to be really important for how these shifts play out. Right? All right, we got the everyday miracles deck. My favorite, my baby Jesus. I love him. Ooh, that's funny. Love is the way I walk in gratitude. It didn't flip, but it must have flipped before. I'll give that a second. Try then today to begin to learn how to look on all things with love, appreciation, and open-mindedness. I felt like that was just like a second message or side message because I didn't pull up right yet. All right, thank you, Jesus and Father. Absolute. Ooh, okay. I love this card. Under his teaching, every relationship becomes a lesson in love. When you meet anyone, remember it is a holy encounter. As you see him, you will see yourself. As you treat him, you will treat yourself. As you think of him, you will think of yourself. Never forget this, for in him, you will find yourself or lose yourself. I love this. I love this. This is a big message about all of the triggering and healing that the collective is going through and how we're just seeing mirrors everywhere. You look at your life, and if something feels good, it's a mirror. And if something feels bad, it's a mirror, right? If something is at peace, it's a mirror. If something's chaotic, it's a mirror. And I'm not talking about when people are projecting things onto us. I'm talking about people really reflecting back to you the parts of yourself that are not lovely or the parts of yourself that you can like get to the next level about. So you're seeing people get triggered in relationships big time, big time. It's been a big energy in the past few weeks. Big, big, big relationship shifts. Like setting healthy boundaries, learning to find self-love, um, finding their voice, speaking up for themselves, right? And there's a lot of soul mates coming into union right now. There's a lot of karmic soul teachers coming into different twin flames lives as they're being activated, right? And it's all about showing us where we need to maybe step up, or a part of ourselves that needs to be healed, or maybe a like an intolerance that we're no longer with. You know what I mean? Like, what is your hard yes? What is your hard no? Is that your truth? Cool, the universe is gonna show it to you and see. Is that your motherfucking truth? And this card is a whole lot of that, right? So every lesson is for you to receive something. So what are you getting from that person? Are you like, well, they did this, they did this, they did this, they did this. Cool. Look in the mirror. All the way look in the mirror. You got such a big problem with that person's energy, you're the problem. Shift your perspective and the life will shift. Either they'll shift out of your life or your relationship with them will shift. Facts. All the way facts. I say, ooh, ooh, okay. In my defenselessness, my safety lies. Ooh. It is not danger that comes when defenses are laid down. It is safety. It is peace. It is joy. And it is God. Mm, mm, mm. Defensiveness, defensiveness is like when we build walls, right? As opposed to having clear cut boundaries. When you build walls, yeah, it's to keep you safe, but it keeps other people out, but it also keeps you from reaching and dealing with other people, right? And we feel like we're safer, but we don't realize that we've just kind of like boxed ourselves in and isolated ourselves, as opposed to building boundaries, which allows you to have a clear perspective of what's going on around you and to use discernment as to who you're letting in or out of your life, right? In or out of your castle, per se, right? The walls are not going to be nearly as high. You're going to have clear line of sight, and you're going to be like, you know what? Yes on that and no on that. Simple, really simple. So it's that energy. It's like realizing that it's okay for me to take the walls down, right? It's okay for me to say no sometimes, and it's okay for me to say yes sometimes. It's okay for me to be happy. It's okay for me to be joyful. It's okay for me to want more for my life. It's okay for me to want a better life. It's okay for me to receive wealth. It's okay for me to be healthy. It's okay that I'm okay. Like, I'm okay with being okay. I'm okay with being happy. I'm good, and that's okay, right? It's that energy. Love it. That pose. Let's see what else we got. Let me recognize the problem so it can be solved. A sense of separation from God is the only lack you really need to correct. So again, for those of you that are feeling isolated or alone, for those of you that are going through the dark night of the soul right now, and I feel you, I all the way feel you, just another reminder that you are not alone. That even in the darkness, even when you can't hear the voice of God within you or around you, even when you don't feel that loving protection from your angels and your spirit guides, even when you are calling out to the heavens and it feels like nothing, and you're in the dark and you're looking for help and you hear nothing and you see nothing, even in all of that, you're not alone. And these trials and these tribulations and these things that we're shifting and going through right now are there to strengthen us because we're all getting up leveled. We're all being taken to the next level. And as the entire planet is shifting and raising her vibration, it's like nobody's being left behind, right? Nobody's being left to just sit in the muck and the darkness and the misery. Like, we're doing it for the collective good. So as those of us on the front line of like really pushing for the next realm and for higher vibrations of the planet, doing it for everybody, right? You're doing it for everybody. So you're not alone, not in the physical realm. You're not alone when you're in the darkness, and it might feel like that. It might feel really, really scary, but we're shifting. We're on the bridge, right? The power just went out. Temporary. The power just went out, but you are not alone. There are other people on the bridge, and they can't fucking see either. But at some point, the sun is going to come up. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. Get some cards from Priestess of Light, and then I'm going to wrap this up. I feel like I've been running my mouth forever. I love you guys. I miss you guys. I'm sorry I haven't been on here. I am going through a dark night of the soul, as I told you. So I'm in transition mode, but this full moon energy was really important for me to share with everyone. 11:44, I just saw. Yeah. Really important. Really important. All right, Priestess of Light. What do you got for the collective for this Taurus full moon? Eclipse. Two fell out. All right. Sacred gratitude, reverent appreciation, prayer. I love that. So one, look at how she's standing, right? Connected with that tree. Again, important to stay really grounded at this time, right? Going out into nature is going to be the quickest and easiest way. Getting your feet into the dirt, hugging a tree, for like a minute, just standing there, just connecting with your energies. It's really transformative. And the power of prayer, right? And I'm not praying like, you're not begging, oh God, please. But no, it's like a prayer of gratitude. Like, thank you, God, for this beautiful day. Thank you that miracles color over my life. Thank you that like you have grace and favor over me. Thank you that I am healthy. Thank you that I woke up today. Thank you that my family and friends woke up today. Thank you that I have a home. Thank you for this food. Like, thank you for the wonders of this life. And thank you for giving me even more things to be thankful for every single day. Like, start your day and start speaking in gratitude and really aligning with those energies so that the universe is going to just bring you more, right? The card is number 50. 5 plus a 0 reduces down to 5, right? And so 5 is the number of change. And change can be frightening sometimes, or change can be good, depending if you stay in flow with it. So it's important to really get grounded during this time, because as these changes are occurring in and around you, you're going to need that strength and that knowledge and that knowing to remember that you're not alone and that you can stay in the eye of the storm through all of this. Okay? Deep emotions, unknown feelings, past life influences. Look at that. This marking up here is the energy of like past, present, future, right? So many of us are also doing ancestral healing and generational healing and lineage healing. So I know personally, recently I was picking up on a lot of anxiety, right? A lot of like feeling it, so much so that I didn't know what it was because I've never dealt with anxiety. That's not something that I deal with. So I wasn't aware. I've heard it discussed, but I wasn't aware what it felt like within my body. But I was picking up on these emotions and I couldn't understand it because I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I'm journaling, I'm doing my tapping. I have, so many healing modalities that I use, and I'm finally like, what is this? And I had to dive deeper and I realized that I was getting like picking up on the anxiety of the collective, right? And so that's a big emotions going on as well. And so as you're purging things out, if you're empathic as I am, you're also going to be picking up on other people purging things out. So it's important to stay really, really grounded and focused at these times and to dive deep, as these feelings are coming up. And you just ask, like, God, is this mine? And if it's not mine, like I release it, and sometimes it helps to journal, like I'm feeling really sad today, or I'm really frustrated, or I don't know why that shit just got under my skin so much, or what is going on? Like I feel like I'm losing my mind. Like whatever it is, like really dive deep into your emotions and tap into it and see what's happening. Because there's gonna be answers there, there's gonna be blessings there, there's gonna be huge shifts in perspectives there that are going to really propel you forward now, right? And it's saying past life influences, but all the timelines are running at the same time. So as you're shifting through the fears in this realm, some of your past lives are having to shift through the fears in their realms and they're kind of holding on tight. And so you're picking up on those anxious feelings as well as all of your lives are being upgraded and shifted at the same time. Yes? Yes. Okay. I want to make sure I got it right. See if we got one more. One more card, then I'm going to wrap it up for the collective. Yep. Shamanic Journey, Purpose, Attunement, Vision Quest. I love it. So you see the beautiful horse, right? Indicates power, moving forward. Beautiful full moon behind her. Of course, Taurus full moon, right? And shamanic journeying. Sometimes we need to go deep into our past, deep into our shadows, um, and connect with some of the places where we've lost our soul along the way. And a part of that is going to be some of you are going to be doing that directly, like literally, like getting with shamans, getting with soul retrieval people, getting with shamans, or doing your own soul retrieval. I'm seeing that for some people. Working with your power animals more. But there's also different attunements that have been coming up. You can look on YouTube. There's all types of spiritual teachers there that are doing that. But it's like you're being, it's like a tuning fork. It's like ding, ding, like it keeps hitting while you're getting further and further into alignment. So it might feel like a headache. I don't know why it's showing it to me like that. It might feel like a headache, like if you're constantly hearing someone hitting tuning fork, like it might feel like a headache, but at some point it's gonna stop and everything will be in alignment. So it's just a reminder to like keep going. And some of you are getting activated in your crown chakra, and so that's why you're feeling a lot of pressure there. 23, right? 2 plus 3, another 5 energy. So again, big changes are going to be happening up. Some of you are getting activated in your third eye and become more clairvoyant and need to start trusting the things that you're seeing. Yeah. throughout this these eclipses, right, between today and December 4th, there's going to be a lot of shifts in the root chakra, and the sacral chakra, your third eye, your crown chakra, and some of you will be physically relocating, literally like moving. Whew, look, bottom of the deck. Setting boundaries. Didn't I just talk about that? Difference between boundaries and walls, right? Threshold protection, honor. Literally. Again, boundaries are amazing. Boundaries are good. You set healthy boundaries because you're in a safe, healthy space, right? Boundaries are amazing to work with. It's walls that make us lose our power, right? It's keeping walls up that keeps everyone out, but it also keeps us isolated, right? So you set healthy boundaries. Again, boundaries about using discernment. Like, is that an energy I wish to deal with, right? Maybe you go into a place and you're really excited to go chill and you're gonna have a party, but then you realize when you get there you're not feeling the vibes. It's okay. Shift, flow out, move on to the next thing. Not a big deal, right? So it's gonna be intense. It's gonna be fun-ish. It's gonna be kind of soul shattering. Um, but it's going to be powerful. And as you stay in alignment, as you remember to stay grounded during this time, can't stress that enough. Drink water and get some really grounding foods in you. Drink water, grounding foods, drink water, grounding foods. Like really, 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 really go through this. Honor the sensual aspects of you because that's being shifted with this Taurus energy. Honor your relationship with money and see if you can have a better one, right? Do things for you that are going to kind of show your subconscious mind and your soul that you love yourself, that you care about yourself, that you want to take care of yourself, you know? Maybe do your hair, go get that haircut, or go buy that outfit, or go take yourself out to dinner or lunch or something, you know, like do something, take that bath. I know full moons, I'm big on being in the bathtub. Big, big, big. I'm gonna take a nice, beautiful milk bath tonight, be one with my motherfucking self, right? Because I've been doing a lot and then just really embrace all of these energies and the blessings that are coming. Get really cleansed and healed and grounded all at the same time. So, anyway, I love you. God loves you. Angels surround you. Thanks for listening to me go on and on and on about this moon, but it's going to be intense and it's going to be fun. And I can't wait to see where we end up when we come into um, the solar eclipse in Sagittarius on December 4th, right? Let's count down the days. All right. I love you so much, so much, so much. Later, guys.